Does Jesus make you sick? What's up, guys? It's Jonathan with another exciting episode. Today, I want to talk about, does Jesus make you sick? I've heard it said, I have this sickness because Jesus is trying to humble me. God's just trying to test my faith. God's really trying to teach me how to trust in Him. God's trying to teach me a lesson. You know, I've heard so many different excuses of why somebody is sick. And frankly, I'm sick of it. I understand that sickness is a real thing. In fact, just this last week, I was feeling a little down. But one thing that we need to be very careful of is to blame our sickness on Jesus. One of the things that I like to do is try to find out anywhere in the New Testament whenever Jesus gave somebody a sickness. And so far, I haven't found any of them. One person said, well, you got to remember about what Paul said about the thorn in the flesh. We don't know what that thorn in the flesh was. Maybe literally it was a thorn in the flesh. You know, if you've ever been picking a flower because they're pretty, so pretty, and then you just like, ow. That's a thorn in the flesh. And there are several references in the Old Testament about having a thorn in the flesh, which is where Paul would have been reading mostly. And actually what it is, it's an attack of the enemy. Just look it up. I'll try to put some scripture references on the screen. Blah! Read them. And so he would have known those scripture references. And so whenever he said thorn in the flesh, he was probably talking about demonic attack going against his ministry, but actually in the long run, it was helping him out. Every time the devil tries to fight me, in the end, it turns around and bites him in the butt. Ah! Got me again. God does what he does the best. Turn everything around for my good. Oh yeah. See, I told you, I'm sick. But Jesus didn't give it to me. You know, I think it was that guy that I work with. He was looking a little bit sick. He shows up for work. He knows he's not supposed to be showing up. Don't waste my time. Man's got to pay some bills around here. You know how many kids I got? No, seriously. Do you know how many kids I got? I lost count. There's like one. There's that one. I have a boy. 2 boys. I'm a better parent than you think I am. Let's get back on topic. You know, I really like the reference of whenever the disciples came to Jesus after they weren't able to cast out the demon, and they asked Jesus, hey Jesus, why couldn't we cast out the demons? He says, well, you know, I sent that demon because I'm trying to test that man to see if he really follows me. It's going to be one of them days, isn't it? What kind of God do we serve? I serve a good God, and He doesn't want to make me sick. He wants to make me well. What Jesus actually said was, because of your little faith. But I like it because what it's saying is that the disciples saw that every time Jesus tried to cast out a demon, the demon left. Every time Jesus tried to pray for a sick person, the sickness left. Somebody came to Jesus to be healed, they were healed. Every single time. And the disciples recognized the pattern. Whenever He prays, God seems to listen. That means that whenever I pray, they should get healed. That just makes sense, people. I mean, I ain't no brain surgeon, but the disciples didn't try to look for excuses. A lot of times we come up with a reason why we don't get healed. And what we do is actually we empower the enemy to continue to leave that sickness on us. I am a full believer that God is a good father. I don't know what kind of good father would send a sickness on their son to try to test their faith. I've been accused of being a great dad. You know, as a father, I just find it hard to believe that I would actually send a sickness on my son to teach him a lesson. I understand that there's a time for correction and even a time for punishment. Sickness is not the way that it's done. Whenever you pray and your prayers don't get answered, instead of coming up with an excuse to cover up your own lack of faith, what I would say, let that be a reason to get back in your prayer closet, to get back into the scriptures, to get back into the presence of God and actually ask Him, God, can you help me? Jesus, I want to be like you. If you can heal him, I want to heal him. Did you know that Jesus actually said that anything that He did, you can actually do greater? Do what Jesus did to the fig tree. Curse it. I'm not saying that. That's not the kind of cursing I'm talking about. Jesus said, anything you ask in my name, it will be done. So if it doesn't get done, does that mean that the scriptures aren't true? Or does that mean that there's something lacking on our end? I'm sorry, but I gotta tell you the truth. Well, the truth can hurt. Man. Well, Jonathan, I'm sick and I've been praying and I'm not healed yet. I get it. Raise your hand if you've ever prayed for somebody and they didn't get healed. Okay, good. Let's continue. Just because your prayer didn't get answered doesn't mean that God's not interested in answering your prayers. Why? Because He's good. I'm not going to get into that whole big old bag of potato worms. What? The Bible said in Isaiah that by His stripes we were healed. Whenever He was whipped, it wasn't just for our salvation. It was literally for our healing. I'll tell you this, if I paid that high of a price for something and I don't get what I paid for, I'm going to be upset. And whenever you come up with some excuse like, well, I guess it's just God's will for me to be sick. people be coming up to me talking about, I made them sick, and I'd be like, come here, I'm about to make you sick. It's the glory of the New Testament, people. Jesus died, and now we don't have to deal with sickness anymore. So if you are sick, don't come up with an excuse. Keep praying until you get what you asked for. That's scripture. And you know what's really interesting? The same people that say that God was the one who gave him that sickness will go to the doctor and ask the doctor to give him some medicine. So what they're saying is that even though it's the will of the Father for me to be sick, I still want the doctor to give me some medicine so that my sickness can be healed. In that case, you're actually going against God's will so that you can be healed. What am I saying? Stop taking your pills and stay sick? No, I'm saying God doesn't want you to be sick, and it's silly for you to say that. Here's some good news for you. Jesus doesn't want you sick, and the Bible proves it. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It really benefits my channel if you just subscribe. Even if you don't like the videos, just click the subscribe button anyways, because what that does is it helps my videos. More people can see them, and the gospel can spread more. If you really hate what I said, please leave a comment below so that I can know exactly what your opinion is. Because comments actually help the video also. Give it a thumbs up, share this joker. Last week whenever I posted that video, I got a whopping 3 extra subscribers to my YouTube channel, and to those people I'd like to say thank you so much. Because of the imminent fame that's coming, my subscriptions are just going to go through the roof this week. I've been practicing my famous way. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, no, it's good to see you. No, you know I love you. Love you guys, have a great week.